Most people do this in the wrong order. They find a car they like, they go to the dealership, and they negotiate. Because they walked into the dealership without a plan, they end up overpaying on the car. Here's the step-by-step process I would follow if I was buying a new car today. Before you walk into any dealership, you're going to need to know what car you actually want. Most people start by scrolling on social media or even walking the dealership lot cluelessly. They're both good starts, but that's backwards in my opinion. I would start here by picking the 3 most important things that you value in a car. Here's a full list, and I'm going to break it down. Reliability. How often is the mechanic fixing it? Fuel efficiency. How much does it cost to drive for the week, drive for the month? Practicality. How practical is it for your life? Can everyone fit comfortably? Can you haul everything comfortably? Luxury. All the bells and whistles, nice massaging seats, top of the line features. Performance. You care about 0 to 60. You want to feel something when you hit the accelerator. Safety features. Think of lane assist. Think about automatic braking. Technology. You want the latest and greatest. You want your car to drive for you. You want to be surrounded by screens. Resale value. Doesn't matter how much your car is worth in 5, 10, 20 years. What's powering the car? Do you want an EV? Do you want an engine? Do you want a hybrid in the middle? Do you want rear-wheel drive? Do you want all-wheel drive? Do you want four-wheel drive? Out of the entire list, pick your top 3. Your top 3 covers about 99% of what you're actually looking for. So for example, if you wanted luxury, reliable, and good on gas, I'd probably say look at a Lexus hybrid. If you're looking for luxury, performance, and space for your family, I'd probably point you towards a German SUV. Think of an Audi Q5, Mercedes GLC, BMW X5, X7. If you're looking for reliable, practical, and affordability, I'd probably say a Honda CR-V, a RAV4. If you're looking for performance, value, and reliability, I'll tell you look for a Honda Civic Si or maybe a Subaru WRX. If you're looking for something with a great all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive system, practical, and reliable, I'll probably tell you to look at an Outback or a Forester. If you're looking for something reliable that can tow and has amazing resale value, Toyota Tacoma. If you're looking for just reliable, get a Corolla. If you're looking for something reliable and amazing on gas, Prius. So once you have your top 3, you should be able to narrow it down to the top 3 models. So this is when I'll start doing some research of talking to owners or researching owners of the car, looking at reviews, and putting it all together. So by now you should have your top 3 models picked out and you're ready for the next step. Before you test drive any car, you're going to need to know if it actually works with your budget. And to be clear, this is not, can I make the monthly payment? That's not the question. The real question is, can I always make this monthly payment comfortably? Here's how to find out. Go to the OEM's website. So think of honda.ca, for example. Find the model and the trim that works best for you. Now you should be able to find a payment calculator to show you how much it would cost to finance or lease or even do a cash deal. These numbers are your baseline, the 3-month test. So now you have the monthly, bi-weekly payment that you're looking at, and I want you to set up an automatic transfer for the exact amount according to the loan. So if you're doing a monthly payment, take that exact payment out every month. Treat it like it's already gone. Treat it like the bank already took it. Treat it like you've already bought the car. And if you're already making car payments, just save the difference between the 2 payments. And after 3 months, if your quality of life did not change at all, you can probably afford the car. Step 3, get pre-approved at a credit union or bank. Granted, this only applies for those that are financing. Walk into your preferred bank or credit union and ask them for a pre-approved with a rate on how much the car is going to cost. Now, the dealership will offer you financing as well. Their rates are just not always the most competitive. So now your APR you got from your bank is the rate they have to beat. On a $70,000 loan, even 1% can mean a massive difference over the life of the loan. You want that number in hand even before you step into the dealership. Step 4, get the entire cost and not just a monthly payment. Get an idea of how much insurance is going to be on your top picks before you commit to it. Rates can vary a lot by makes and models. One could be stolen more, one could be labeled as a sport model. Factor in things like fuel economy. One car can cost you $5,000 in gas, while another can cost you $7,000. Is that a factor for you? Another thing to factor is going to be maintenance. Now, since you're coming from an older car to a newer one, maintenance is actually going to be lower on this one. The test drive. So now you got 1 to 3 cars shortlisted. You now know you can afford them. And now the only thing left to do is see if you like the driving experience. I recommend going on a Tuesday or Wednesday. These days are typically the slowest days for showrooms. Pretty much most days work outside of Saturdays. Saturdays are typically the most busy days for dealerships. You're not going to get the attention you deserve, and you're probably going to have a lot of pressure to buy on a Saturday. Here's what I would say if I was walking into a dealership. I'm not looking to buy a car today. I'm just here for a test drive. I'm going to buy the car in a few months. You can follow up with me, but I'm not here to buy today. If you're upfront and honest with the salesperson, they usually respect that. Now you're ready for the test drive. At this point, I would ask them for a 10 to 15 minute route you can go on. Ideally one where you can go on the highway. I recommend you going on the highway because you need to feel the car at highway speeds and not just around the parking lot. Now, if the car salesman joins you on the test drive, ask him for some features you should test out while on the road. And here's a quick rundown of what you should look for while on the test drive. Comfort. How does the seat feel? Can you adjust it to exactly where you want it to be? Visibility. Can you see out the windshield properly? Are there any blind spots that make you feel uncomfortable? Ride quality. How does the car feel going over a bump? Steering and braking. Do you like how it turns? Do you like how it feels when you press on the brake? Is it responsive? Do you feel confident? Cabin noise. Is it quiet when you're at highway speeds, or can you hear everything? Technology. Is the infotainment easy to use and intuitive, or is it complicated just to change the temperature? Space and cargo. Is there more or less room in the back seats than you thought? The cargo. Is it bigger or smaller than what you thought? And the most subjective one, driving confidence. Does it just even feel right for you? The moment the test drive is done, don't just head back inside just yet. Take a moment to reflect and rate the car while it's still fresh in your mind. You're going to rate the car out of 5 on the factors we just covered: comfort and seating, visibility and safety, ride quality, steering and braking, cabin noise, technology and infotainment, space and practicality, interior quality, exterior look, driving confidence. Also, you can put down some notes, like 1 or 2 things you liked about each car. Now do this for all 3 cars. Now if you do this correctly, the right car will almost always surface to the top. The 3 ways to negotiate your car. Now, there are 3 ways to negotiate: in person, over the phone, or by email. Each one has their own trade-offs. Pick the one that best fits your style. You walk into the dealership, you ask for a salesperson or a sales manager, and you sit down to negotiate. You have the stock number or the exact spec of the car. You tell them the out-the-door price that you want to be at. The biggest pro: they take you much more seriously when you're in person. Your best shot at a deep discount is almost always in person. You can read their body language, you can hear their tone, you can know when you're about to get a really good deal. But don't forget, the most powerful move you have is walking out the door. Nothing motivates a salesperson more than watching a potential buyer walk out without a deal. You should be able to finalize all the paperwork and pick up your car within a few days. The biggest con about doing in person: it is very time intensive. I would plan for 1 to 4 hours at minimum. The emotional pressure is very high. It's likely you could say yes to something that you weren't planning on buying. And it actually may require more than 1 trip to a dealership. In person may require you to go to several dealerships, repeating this process several times. The in-person buying process is best for people that have more time and want the best deal possible. In-person's best for saving as much money as you can, but going through the process of potentially going to a few dealerships and spending a few hours. Option 2 is picking up a phone and smiling and dialing. Call the dealership and ask for new car sales. Have the stock number or the exact spec of the car you want ready. I'd first ask the car salesperson if the car is still available. The next question I would ask them if they're open to taking an offer. Once they agree they're willing to take an offer, provide them with the offer that you've already done research on. It sounds something like this: is the car available? Are you willing to take an offer? Great, I'd like to offer you X. Are you willing to take that? I'm willing to buy the car in X amount of days. I'm willing to put down a deposit. The biggest pro of using the phone is you can get a deal done very quickly, within a few hours, maybe a few days. You can call 5 dealerships in the afternoon, no problem. You have more control because you can hang up whenever you like and call another dealership. The emotional pressure is a lot lower over the phone than in person. You can have all your notes in front of you so you don't miss a single step. The biggest problem is that dealerships don't take phone customers as seriously. They can easily brush you off. It's a lot harder to build rapport with that salesperson that's giving you the discount over the phone. Some dealerships don't even take phone customers seriously at all. Unless you put down some type of deposit, they really don't want to negotiate with you. The phone method is best for people that have done their research and want to prioritize time more than try and squeeze every last little dollar out of the deal. Option number 3, email. Go onto the dealership's website, go under our staff or meet our team, and find the salesperson or sales manager you want to email. Send them a short and clear email saying when you're going to buy, the stock number, and the offer you have. Send this email to 5 dealerships in your area all at once. The biggest advantage of using email, it's the most hands-off method. The pressure you face is at its lowest, and there's no awkward conversations you have to have. Every email is in writing, so you have a paper trail to close the deal. You now have time to think between every response, comparison to in person or over the phone. And email is the best option if you want to avoid confrontation completely. The biggest downsides of email is the slowest method by far. That's because most dealerships don't take email offers seriously at all. Most dealerships don't even reply, and when they do, they usually give very vague answers. And out of all the methods of in-person and phone, email is the most likely to leave money on the table. So email is best for people that want convenience and low pressure, but they're okay leaving some money left on the table. But regardless of the method, keep this order. 1, agree on the out the door price first. So that means taxes, fees, everything into one price, the cash price, if you will. Number 2, keep the trade-in in a separate conversation. You don't want this to get mixed in with the new car value. Number 3, the financing. If you are financing, keep this for last because you want to make sure that the finance manager has a rate to beat. I would not recommend bundling the car price, the trade-in, and the financing all into one. The moment you bundle everything in, they can play around the numbers and you lose track of exactly how much is which. So now you agreed on the price of the car and now you're about to head into the finance office. You think you're done, but you're not. You have just one more step. The salesperson will walk you to an office where the energy will change. This is going to be the finance and insurance manager, the F&I manager. The F&I manager's job starts where the salesperson's job ends. And here's a breakdown of how you can think of each one. Extended warranty. It can make sense on some vehicles. Some warranties are short, some cars are less reliable. That's when you can consider it, but don't forget, these are negotiable. Gap insurance. It does make sense. When you drive off the lot, you instantly owe more than what it's worth. So if you do crash, you are gonna have to cover the rest of that. For gap insurance, check with your insurance company first. It can already be included in some policies, or it can be added on for less than what the dealership is offering. For things like paint protection, rust protection, fabric protection, tire coverage, in almost every case, it's a no for me. But here's the most important thing about the F&I office. They're trained to sell you at the moment. So decide what you want before you even take a step into the F&I office. And that's the full process of how I would buy a car. From figuring out what you want to knowing if you can afford the car, test driving it and scoring it based off of several factors, negotiating the right way, and walking out of the F&I office knowing you got a good deal. Now, if you're looking to avoid this entire process, we have a video right here showing you how we take care of customers ourselves. Thanks, and see you in the next one.